Whew. All right. We're live. Okay. Let's see who all gets here tonight. Whew. Let's see what happens tonight, y'all. Welcome in. For those of y'all just coming in, for those who are going to watch this a little bit later, we are going to hopefully get some people in here, have a good time, just chatting, talking about the last week of the season. David, how you doing? Right now, I think you're the only one in here besides me. What's going on? We're just going to see how many people we get in here tonight. Just have a little chat, see what's going on with everybody, see who's got a little bit of their season left. I know we got to the 31st, so we got 9 days. Say, Charles. So we got about 9 more days. And then Ron, how you doing? We'll get these 9 days over with, and we got a couple days in February. I'm going to be able to hunt, and then maybe pick up some late season geese here and there. But we'll see what happens. Hope everybody's having a great evening. I know that I've been kind of MIA a little bit. And then when I did come back, I got sick. I'm still a little sick. I'm still not feeling 100%. I don't call it the coronas or the COVIDs or nothing like that. This is late season waterfowl flu. You just get sick because you're in the water all the time. Ron, y'all still able to hunt, or is your season out? Hey, Lee, what's up, brother? Hey, Craig. Oh, Greg, looked like you got into him a little bit today or yesterday, whenever it was. Your zone closed December 31st. Holy crap. But I guess y'all get to hunt a lot earlier than we do in your local areas. And no weather and 0 ducks. I know, man. This weather has been absolutely crazy. I mean, I even said it in the beginning, that the weather patterns. I mean, you look at the persimmon trees, you go by the Farmer's Almanac, all this stuff, and they say that, this was going to be the coldest winter ever or in a long time. And yeah, granted, we still got a month and a half or 2 months left of winter before springtime gets. And yes, in that 2 months time, it could get really, really cold. But, I guess we look at it, that hopefully the duck season will be cold. And this season, I mean, when you're holding 100,000 geese in Saskatchewan all through December and into January, something's wrong. Something's wrong. But we can't blame, I'm not going to sit here and blame anybody on this one. This is all weather. This is all weather related. However, when the ducks do get to where they're going, if they don't have ample food or water, they're going to jump all over you. Same old crap, different day. Too much along with rain. Yeah. I need to get a banner going. All right. Whoop. There we go. All right. In case anybody's wondering what this is, what this is on the banner. If you're in South Carolina, I know at least one. Dave, I can't remember where you're from. The wildlife management areas, the category 1s, are in a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are in very, very much disrepair and have been for the past 13 years. And we need to get the politicians more involved. The only way we can do that is to email them. So if you click this link right here, or copy and paste this link, or write it down and go to it later, it will give you all the information you need, and you can go and email the governor's office, the state senator, state reps. Email them and tell them to get on the stick and get these category 1s. If you'll watch my videos on the wildlife management areas, I've done 3 or 4 of them now. Get those and watch them, and that'll also help you out and kind of give you some idea of what's going on. The feds need to run our season to middle of January. Well, Ron, I don't know. Historically, most ducks start pairing up this time of the year. And in certain areas, ducks are going to be starting to turn around and start heading back. They're pairing up, and they're going to be breeding here, and then they're going to be nesting in a couple, 3 months. So I just don't know if the feds would go that far as to run our seasons longer. I personally, and this is strictly on a conservation note, I would personally be against it. It is what it is. We got to deal with the weather. Ducks need 3 things: food, water, rest. Duck hunters also need weather. And to be honest, if they don't come down, there's less ducks and geese are being shot, which means more later on next year. However, with it being warm like this, we got another factor to factor in, and that's that there's no ice pack. There's no snow on top of it. There's no ice on top of that. There's no more snow on top of that. And your potholes and stuff will start. Your potholes won't be here. Hey, Mark, how you doing? So your potholes won't be here, so there'll be less and less places for them to areas for breeding and nesting. So yeah, it's a catch-22, bro. I know you see that side also. But as a conservationist and running a channel, I mean, I can get behind certain things, like our wildlife management areas. I can get behind that and say, hey, they need to do better, and get the politicians involved. I can get behind more wood duck boxes. I can get behind more mallard and goose nesting platforms. I can get in behind more and more conservation, not only easements, but conservation projects. But getting behind that, running our seasons later and later, I just don't think that will be our ticket. Um, I don't think that would help us in the long run. Personally, and I'm probably going to upset the apple cart. Personally, especially on the Atlantic Flyway, I think it should be a 2 mallard limit. I think it should also be a 2 wood duck limit. Um, and majority of the ducks we shoot here in South Carolina are wood ducks. But I think it should be a 2 wood duck limit and a 2 mallard limit. The rest of the ducks, there could be some argument made for pintails and gadwall, but the rest of them I think is going to be. I think they're fine. I would like to see a reduction in the actual limit from 6 to 5. And there's certain areas in our state I'd like to see a cutoff, and I'd like to see more areas that are cut off during the duck season to recreational boaters and fishermen. These are some things that I can get behind. But for now, I got to fight one fight at a time. And that one fight right now for South Carolina is the wildlife management areas. Jeff, how you doing? Grant, how you doing? Leah saying all the shovers I was looking at are gone today. Yeah, I don't know where they went. But get ready, Lee. I'm fixing to come up with a plan for next year. For local area. Me and you gonna take a boat ride here in a couple weeks when the season's out. We're gonna go take a look at some stuff. We may even do it this Saturday, depending. We may just go and finally got above freezing day after 9 days straight. Ouch. We had a couple days of cold, and then it just slacked off. We're supposed to be in the high 60s and 70s next week. But I got something I want to go look at, Lee. A couple places. So get some extra gas cans and some extra biscuits, and let's go. I know a spot, and I want to go check it. I want to go see it. I haven't seen it in a long time. So, Ron, that's interesting you say that, because I have been saying that for years, especially on the Atlantic Flyway. And if you look at some of the original Flyway maps, you'll notice that the Atlantic Flyway was basically on the coast. And we always have had, and throughout the years, through tracking and banding, they have discovered that there's crossovers. And we get a lot of crossovers from southeast Saskatchewan, Pennsylvania. They cross over and fly down the Appalachians and then cross over somewhere right above or right at North Carolina, and then come into South Carolina and Georgia and then the Florida. But when the rice culture died out right after the Civil War on the Atlantic Flyway, I think you started seeing a shift of birds that would move west from the coast to these flooded acorn trees that we had along the Santee River, the Congaree, the Wateree, the Santee rivers. So yeah, I'm thinking that there's been a shift, and it's shifting. I think it's just something that's natural. You have a lot more civilization, a lot more housing, a lot more development along the Atlantic Flyway and on the western end of the Atlantic Flyway along into the eastern portion of the Mississippi Flyway. You still have a lot of urban sprawl, places being drained, um, crops not being, they're planted from hedgerow to hedgerow. There's no place for them to feed. New machinery has come out where it picks up just about every piece of grain. I think it's a shift. I think it's an all-inclusive thing. I think this is me personally. I'm no waterfowl biologist. I don't claim to be one. But after 51 years of duck hunting, I've seen things in my lifetime. I've talked to older hunters that have seen things in their lifetimes, and I'm kind of in agreement with you. Anybody else got any thoughts? Put them down. But this has been a grind. Guys that I know out west, Arkansas, Louisiana, Kentucky, Missouri, even Tennessee, some other guys, they were having a tough. Everybody was having a tough year this year because of the weather. I was planning on taking a trip this week out west, and pretty much got told stay home. I was going to be heading to Central Kentucky, and I pretty much got told stay home. That's where I was going to take Bougie. I was going to take Bougie with me, and we were going to drop her off and get her bird dog trained. I was going to get a bird dog trainer to work on her for quail and stuff like that. And plus, we had another problem. Miss Bougie came into her cycle. So she's in heat, and I am not going to take her somewhere and drop her off and have somebody try to train a dog it's already crazy to begin with, and now she's double crazy. Grant's saying, I'm confused about it. I've seen a lot of ducks this year compared to the past 8 or so. Grant, I saw I can't say that. I know some guys that have said the same thing. They saw a lot of ducks early in the season. Mostly I think those are photo period ducks. I think those were the photo period ducks for the early season. And they saw quite a few, and then it just they just went away, and then nobody knows where they went. Everything's froze up now. My friend in West Tennessee says they have seen very few ducks this year. Yeah, I'm the same. I feel the same way about that. We've seen, me personally, I've seen fewer summer ducks or wood ducks this year. Talking to people along the coast, they've seen fewer ducks here on the Atlantic Flyway. Now, down in Florida, they got the birds. They got birds down there. And they're just flying over us and heading straight to Florida. They may stop for a day or two, rest, get some water, feed up a little bit, and then head on. But Billy from SoFlo Outdoors, I think they shot an 8-man limit the other day, and they shot a bunch of birds this morning. They all limited out this. We had a push on the 13th that was locked up and frozen by the 16th. Yeah, that's going to be your weather birds. Buddy of mine came back from Real Foot Lake. They hunted 3 days, killed 5 ducks. Mark, I have a guy that comes in here from time to time. He was in Real Foot, and they didn't do much at all. And the day they left was when they had that big push, that big weather push, and the birds came in. They shot a couple. They said that the guy, when they left, that the guide called them and said, "You left a day too early because we just shot limits." I got another buddy of mine went to Oklahoma. They hunted 4 or 5 days. I can't remember which, but they didn't get on them until the last day. And on the last day is when they shot ducks. Been tearing them up in the upstate 5 man. Hey, Tyler, 5-man limit of redheads yesterday. Good for you, man. Y'all still have to forgive me. My voice is still a little crackly. I'm still working on this cold that I've had for almost going on 2 weeks now. The still ducks close by the Ohio River has been too tough or too rough and dangerous for me. I got you, man. Be careful. There's nothing wrong with that. I canceled a sea duck hunt because of the weather. It just got too rough, and I ain't sitting in the middle of the ocean in a layout boat. I guess I might have to push it to next year. Maybe I can get on an earlier hunt when the weather's not so bad. It was that and the combination. I caught this cold. Like I said, I've had this thing going on 2 weeks now. And going out yesterday didn't help any at all either. I was sick yesterday. I called in sick for work, and I ended up having to go and get some people out of the swamp. The motor broke down. But yeah, I think the weather this year is the weather. And I think that's what every duck hunter has to deal with every year is they either get the weather too early or they get the weather too late. You don't get your push of birds. They get stalled somewhere. They hang out. They got plenty of open water, plenty of good food sources. They ain't got to go nowhere. And then if you get lucky and look and hook up on them and find them, had a permanent hunt near OBX Saturday, passed on it. Boat access only and wind 25 knots and 26-degree temp. Too cold, too rough. Yep. I might have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. And trust me, I'm not going out there in that kind of mess. Yeah, we got the same thing, Grant. 31st, we end up on the 31st, and I've got this Friday and this Saturday, and then I'm done for the regular season. And then we have 2 days in February. I think it's the 3rd and the 10th. It's Saturdays. And those are the federal youth hunt days. but also South Carolina allows veterans to hunt on those days. So I will be doing that as well. I just don't have any idea where I may be going right now. Got a couple places in mind that I really want to look at. Yeah, you're pretty much on your own when you're duck hunting. I do call a buddy. Yep. Yeah, South Carolina has 2 days prior to the regular season. I believe it's 2 days for youth, and the federal youth days, which I believe are set for everybody, February 3rd and 10th. And on those days, the state allows veterans and active duty and veterans, which I think is pretty cool. To be honest, probably the only benefit I've ever used is being a veteran. I've been rescued, also caught in a flood and couldn't get out. Ouch. Oh yeah, I mean, listen, it happens. I mean, I had a belt break on my Go Devil. It's belt driven. I've had a belt break. Um, I've had batteries go down. I had to be towed in, or whatever. I mean, something happens. Blew my motor up one time up in the swamp. I had to wait almost 5 hours before somebody could get up there to me. But you eventually get out. "12 hours in a swamp, no fun at night." No, it ain't. If y'all don't think a Go Devil boat ain't tough, just ask Lee up there, Lee Louder up here in the comments. I hit a tree the other day. Bubba, whoo, man, I hit that tree too hard. Oh, Lord. Y'all give me 1 second, please. Oh, let's see here. All right. So, anybody else got any thoughts on the possibility of a westward or any other shift in the migration other than the crossover theory that I apply to it? I think we have birds that cross over several of the flyways to come here, and then have birds from the Atlantic flyway cross over into Mississippi and Central. I was just wondering what y'all's thoughts are. Anybody have any thoughts on it? Just put them in the comments. That was a sudden stop. Yeah, it was. You ought to see the. Well, I wasn't going to show it to you, but I had a bruise on my side from hitting that grab bar. Yeah, it was a pretty sudden stop. All right, so oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. I got to kind of set this up a little bit. Does anybody? Seems like the guys in the Central States had a good season though. I don't know. I haven't heard much. I haven't heard too much from them. I heard they had a decent season, but nothing like they normally have. Do any of y'all follow Mid Valley Mercenaries by chance? The YouTube channel. And the reason I ask is he has a podcast called the MVM Show, and he had the owner of Mueller Choke Tubes. I don't know if that's the guy's last name or whatnot. To be honest, I don't know if that's his last name, but it's Mueller Chokes. And they were talking about ammunition and choke tubes and whatnot in the podcast. And there's going to be like 2 or 3 possible parts to this one podcast. And something that I have been doing this year, and I've been trying to explain it on certain times. I've tried to explain it, but I just don't have to be honest, I don't have the technical terms for a lot of these things. But for those of you guys that are in here that remember shooting lead for ducks, most of us, not all, but most of us, we were shooting 2 3/4, 6s, 5s. I was shooting 7.5s, high brass. Now these are all high brass, what we call baby magnums, shot, and it was smaller pellets. And then when we were forced into shooting steel, we found out that really quickly that steel shot sucks, still does, and they went to bigger shot sizes. They went to from 2 3/4, now starting to shoot 3-inch shells to 3.5-inch shells. And you got these loads that are just tremendously huge, shooting BBs and 2s in 3.5 inches, heavy, big pellets, and the payload, your powder loads were running, we're running 1550, FPS. And, you were still seeing those ducks that would wing off. Well, I've been trying to, I didn't know how to explain it. And I hope that I try to do something today, but I encourage every one of y'all to go watch this MVM podcast with this guy, because he could probably explain it a lot more in technical terms. But the gist of this is smaller shot, higher payload equals more ducks dead. And when bismuth came out, at the time when it first came out, I couldn't afford it then, but now it's gotten a little bit more reasonable. And I switched over to Boss, and I went to their 6, because I shoot a 16 gauge. So I was shooting the Boss ammos, number 5s, but I also bought some number 7s. And I found out very quickly that I could kill more ducks with a number 7 flat out than I could with number 5. And I just wasn't, and I was like, well, back in the day when we shot ducks, we used 7.5 Winchester Western Super X 7.5 baby magnums, a high brass shell. And we killed a lot of ducks with those things. You shoot an improved cylinder. And we shot a lot of ducks with it. And then when I started talking with Keith at Salt Creek Custom Ammo, who basically that's all the ammo I shoot now, and he introduced me to TSS. And I've shot some 7s, and I've shot some 8s, and I've shot some 9s. And the number 9s they give a better pattern, at least on paper. And, for all practical purposes, guys, I shot a Swan at 40 yards with improved cylinder with a number 9 TSS. So he is saying go to smaller shot with a lower velocity, running about 1,300, 1,250, 1,300. And you sit there and go, well, man, speed kills, right? He said, well, you have to understand when the shot comes out, it's going so fast, it starts to disperse more, and it doesn't hold your pattern that tight. Don't worry about shot string. Shot string, short or long, don't matter. You want it to, it doesn't disperse like it is supposed to, going at those higher velocities at 1550. And the lower velocities, they stay more compact. Your grouping is a whole lot tighter. Again, I'm not going to explain it the way he did it, but it's something I've been trying to say and trying to tell other people about it. That's why I've kind of switched to shooting number 7 bismuth and number 9 TSS, because it's a smaller shot. You get more pellets, lower velocities. You may get a higher payload because you can put more shot in there, and your velocities are lower. And it's all around kills. And he's done some testing. Don't believe what I'm trying to say. Go watch that podcast. Also go over there and see Joel Strickland at Surviving Duck Season. He did a whole series of guns, choke tubes, ammo. He went very scientific with it. And they're basically saying this, what I've been saying for years. I just don't know how to say it. If that makes any sense whatsoever. But what I'm basically getting out of is a lot of the younger generation thinks that the faster it is, the better it is. And it's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily true that the bigger the shot is going to kill more. It's actually smaller shot. Joel had a great show on it. Yes, he did. So, hey, Mark, how you doing? So, don't think bigger and faster is better. Think of it as, smaller and slower. Kind of, because it just holds, but the patterns hold better. Regardless of what I'm telling you or what anybody else says, get you a good choke tube, whoever you decide. Me, I'm Comp and Choke. I love Comp and Choke. That's who I would tell you to go to. And get you some bismuth, get you some TSS. Now he did say something kind of interesting to me that I heard, that I'm not 100% convinced, but he did say that even if you put it on paper, patterning your gun on paper does not give you all the information you need. And that's all I've ever heard in my life, that, put it on paper, see how the pattern looks. Well, that's going to give you a rough idea, but not all of it from what he says. To me, I think it gives you a little bit more, but who am I to disagree with this gentleman who has way more knowledge? I mean, Mueller chokes are top of the line. They're the Cadillac Escalades of the choke tube world. So, I mean, I think he makes every one of his by hand for that gun anyway. So, and he shot, 28 something different guns, 12,000 rounds. He knows what he's talking about. So, that slow motion video on shot string was impressive. Yes, it was. So, it's something to sit there and think about. Go watch it. Seriously, guys, it doesn't help me out if y'all go watch them. It doesn't help me out a bit, but it helps you out. And I'm going to rewatch this podcast. I'm going to rewatch what Joel Strickland says, because I think it's good for all of us. And I would love to give y'all information, and say, hey, go check it out. You know what I'm saying? Hope that makes a little bit of sense. But he did say, if you're going to shoot steel, I think he was saying that the Remington Nitro, if he has to shoot steel, his preferred shell is either the Remington 2 3/4 Remington number 6 or the Winchester Drylock number 6. That's what the man's saying. If he's got to shoot steel, that's what he's going to shoot. That it gives him the better all around better patterns, everything that you would want. It gives you out of steel shot. And I really do suggest everybody go there and take a look at it. Go watch them. I think a lot of duck hunters, not everyone, but a lot, they just take for granted. They just go buy a box of shells and stick the gun up in there. They don't do any research or testing or seeing what does what. I'm by no means a professional at it. Let's give you what I give you. Unless somebody wants to sponsor me and get me the chrono and slow motion cameras and a videographer and an editor to help me with all that, I'm just going to go shoot on paper and show it to you. Well, welcome back, Mark. Glad you made it home safe. But with all that said, I know we got 8 days left of the regular duck season here. A lot of us do, and you know what? I'm thinking about next year. I'm already gearing up. I'll be putting the videos out later, but I've got some new stuff already that I'm not going to use until next year. And again, I'll be putting some of those videos out, unboxing and putting them up and showing them to you. But one of the things I do want to remind everybody is now, if you're looking at getting new gear and upgrading certain stuff, now is the time to start shopping. After season sales are popping up everywhere. Don't wait to August when nothing's on sale. Get it now. And I got some stuff. And Ron says, I've been in next year mode for 2 weeks. Yeah, start getting your stuff. Start putting your stuff together. I like the after season. Yes, sir. I've already picked up 2 big ticket items already. We're going to use next year. I got some great ideas, man. I mean, wow, some ideas that I've been thinking about how to do certain things. Especially the way I hunt in the timber and in the swamps. So we're gonna do some testing on some things this year, showing you how I'm gonna. There's a couple of things I got to build, and so I'll be working on that. And we're going to be doing a lot more shooting this year, a lot more stuff. Like I said, I'm with Comp and Choke now, and I'm going to get some new tubes, and along with Keith at Salt Creek Custom Ammo, we're going to start testing, patterning, shooting. We got Bougie. I got some new things. Me and her are going to start working on this off season. Lot of different stuff. I am going to have to take her to the vet in probably first part of February. Have you seen those battery operated jerk line pullers? Oh yeah. I've seen those, Ron. I'm probably going to be taking Bougie right after the February 10th hunt, and sometime mid-February. I'm gonna have to take her to the vet. We are not going to breed her, so we gotta take care of that. Hey Matt, we met at Sparkleberry Swamp about 2 weeks ago. You spoke about the problem with the DNR man. If I email our state assembly about this topic, what should I say? Well, there's the link right there on the banner that will get you to the page you need to, where you can find all the emails for your senator, state reps, general assembly, and the governor's office. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but so my question to you is, have you watched the videos that I put out? Do you agree with me? And if so, let them know that these certain wildlife management areas, these category 1s, are being mismanaged. We do have a great manager at the Santee Coastal. He's a great guy. I think the world of him. He's very knowledgeable, but he cannot handle 4 or 5 different wildlife management areas. We need competent managers, experienced, not only freshwater managers, but saltwater brackish water managers as well. When you hunt with Billy Music, you can finally shoot ducks. I don't know, man. Let me finish this thought real quick. So these things this is what you need to tell them and let them know that you're not happy with it. And that, if you're in agreement on this, you need to talk about the leadership in DNR and why they are why aren't they pushing harder on these contractors. This is a leadership problem, and they either need to get going and get this stuff done, or they need to be ousted and taken out. So if you agree with all that stuff that I said, that's kind of the verbiage. But to actually tell you what to say, buddy, it needs to be in your own words. to be quite honest. Grant's laughing at hunting New York. Boy, it ain't gonna be this year. I ain't gonna be able to hunt this year in Florida. I want to, but it ain't gonna happen. There's too much going on right now. Billy, what's up? I was sitting there just talking about you two guys shooting all those ducks the other day that y'all got them down there. What I'm trying to do is send everybody down to Florida to shoot all y'all's ducks. Road trip to Florida. You driving? Let's go. If you're driving, got the gas money and get me a hotel room, we're going. We'll go. $350 a gun. Shoot. I'll cook you a sausage biscuit. Oh, y'all wait. I came out with a recipe last week and cooked it for the first time. I had two people that tested it out. And they loved it. A new duck blind recipe. And they absolutely loved it. Good deal. This was my first season. I was inspired when you talked to us. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. He left out the decimal $3.50. You haven't shot a duck in 6 years. Buddy, I've already killed a swan this year. What are you talking about? My year is perfect, dude. I got a freaking trophy bird of a lifetime. I actually said it out loud. I don't know if it was on the video or not, but I actually said it out loud that if I didn't shoot another duck or goose this year, my year was made just on that swan. I know, man. I know y'all just picking. I just can't do it, man. I can't get down there. I got too much work. You know, if I could get YouTube to start paying me more, get more people to watch, and I was making, buku amount of money with YouTube, and then I'd be on my way. I'd probably move the family down there, but I got to pay bills, man. I got to pay bills. You can cut the crap. Come on. I got bills to pay, bro. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Well, I'm just asking because the way you looked at on that picture that you had posted of that fully plumaged blue-winged teal, was that your first full plumage blue-winged teal drake? What did he do? Leave? I guess he got tired and left. Or that, or he fell asleep. But let's see here. But yeah, I got some new stuff this year. But we'll be doing a little more cooking. We got some cooking stuff that I'm gonna be coming out with on how to cook ducks, certain recipes that I thoroughly enjoy. Gonna have my dad on some of these cooking videos. Me and him are gonna get together and cook something up really nice. That hunt we had today in Lancaster was the most ducks I've ever seen. Were you at a hunting preserve or any new guns on the horizon? I am actually looking at 2 guns right now, Ron. And it's only because I don't have them. I don't have. I am looking at getting a 28 gauge. Probably more likely, I'll get a Mossberg SA 28 auto. I want one for shooting, patterning, shells and whatnot. Just something because I'm gonna be doing a lot of patterning. Not only the 16, but the 12s and the 20s. I've got a 410 that I can use. I don't have a 28 gauge, so I'm thinking about getting a 28 to do some of this. I'm also looking at getting a 10 gauge to do some patterning with a 10 gauge. So hundreds of ring necks. Okay. So yeah, I'm looking at, and if I get a 10 gauge, I'm just going to try to get a used gun. I don't need a new one for that. But I am looking at a 28. I think it'd just be neat, and I might even duck hunt with it. But I'm going to be doing a lot of testing this year, so I'm going to need guns. I'm going to need more. I've got I got 12s, I got 20s, of course, I got 16s. I can put my hands on a 410 any day of the week. So I got that. So yeah, I'm not sure when I'm gonna get these new guns. I am planning a very large trip next year down to Louisiana. So I'm gonna be putting my nickels and dimes together and trying to save up for that. Remember that water hole you took your dog right there? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, I think they're going to have a hard time doing that, Ron. To be quite honest with you, they don't want to mess with that stuff. But yeah, I'm already working on the ammo. But I do want to get those 2 guns to have, and once I get them, there may be a day that I may do a 410 hunt, and a 28 hunt, and a 20 gauge hunt, and a 16, and a 12, and a 10. Who knows? Who knows? I was looking at the Mossberg SA 28. I mean, you're looking at $700. You're looking at roughly $700 for guns. I mean, that ain't bad. So, you know, but I just love my 16s. I love that gauge. I really do. They finally dropped the new 20. Is that a wooden steel or do they do the Wicked Wings? That wouldn't be a bad gun to have, to honestly just to have. Yeah, it is pricey, dude. And I got one. Ron. It was it was a chunk of change. It was a huge chunk of change. But if I do get a gun, it'll be later on. Uh, I got a, I got a, I got the down payment for the Swan, for the Swan mount. I got the down payment for it. It's at the taxidermist. I've already done that, so I've got to start, saving money for that. And like I said, I've got a very big trip in Louisiana next January, that I'm taking with me, my dad, uh, and my son. So it'll be 3 generations of us going out west. That that ought to be, if I get half the stuff on video, that'd be more comedy than y'all can handle. I'm going to tell you. That will be a funny video. Whether we kill something or not, it will be hilarious. But that's what we're planning on for next year. So, Charles, we're doing a dead mount. I'm gonna have to do a dead mount, and I say have to do one. Um, the the main reason is when I shot him, I dang near shot his wing off. So that's why we're doing a dead mount. That's why we're doing a dead mount. I dang near blew his wing slap off, and so, and another reason is because of room. I just don't have the high ceilings to put a decoying swan or even a sitting swan. There's nowhere I could put it, but I do have a spot. Move some things around, and I can put a dead mount there. And I'm going to do a really nice board. I got a friend of mine that does a lot of woodworking, and I'm going to end up talking to him, and I'm going to kind of do some old boards, maybe even burn them and then weather them out in the weather, and then put them up. RD, I don't know if you heard me or not. Did they come out with the wood? Is it the new A5? Is that the wood and steel, or is that the composite or Wicked Wings edition? Which one did they drop, or do they drop all of them, or just that, or just one particular style? All I've seen so far is wood. Okay. I was kind of surprised that they brought out the 16 in the Wicked Wings way before that they dropped the new A520. I'd have thought they'd have dropped the 16 and then maybe the 20 and then hit the 20 for the Wicked Wings and for the duck hunters and stuff. And they ended up dropping the 16. Chuck's probably still sucked up. Yeah, really. Ain't that the truth? Artie, I don't know if you heard me talking about it earlier, but go look under Mid-Valley Mercenaries, and they got a podcast out, and they were talking to Mueller choke tubes and talking about shot and shot sizes and whatnot. You might want to go take a look at that. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I'm hitting buttons. I can't stop. Well, how many ducks did y'all end up shooting today, RD? You said you saw the most you've seen, so how many did you shoot? That's good. I need to get your job, man, where I can just take off when I want to. Two circles blasted and gone. I got you. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So what else, guys? Pretty much pipping ain't easy. Oh, buddy. But I'll be glad. Like I said, I've got a lot planned for this year. Got a lot of stuff I want to get done. Just off season. A lot of things. I think I may have said it already, but I plan on doing some cooking with my dad. We're going to probably go to his house, set up the cameras, and just film us cooking and cutting up and giving y'all some ideas other than filleting the breast out and wrapping it in bacon and throwing it on the grill, which ain't bad, but there's more to life. Goose season's about to start off. Well, for those of us that have geese and like to goose hunt, yes, you like to goose hunt. I'm not. For me, geese is an opportunity kind of thing. I may go up to North Carolina a day or two and hunt up there if they ever get them. But we'll see what happens. Of course, if somebody wants to invite me to one of these little goose hunts they go on, all I need is a phone call. Certain people here have my number. Well, I don't know where your geese are eating at, but mine eat off of golf courses and pond scum. And ducks taste a whole lot better than a sky carp. You get geese that's been feeding on corn, then that's something different. Well, when they feed off of grass off of a golf course, what else? What else? What else? Let's see. We talked about MVM. Talked a little about chokes and shells. What's going on next year? Off season. We got turkey season coming up shortly. Hog farm waste, lagoon spray fields. Yep. That turkey season opens up in a couple of months. All right. All right, RD. Take care of yourself, man. Have a good evening. Appreciate your help. If you're still listening, appreciate your help Saturday. Let's see here. Yeah, that was funny because I was on the way to the landing when my son called and said that they had broke down, and I passed RD. He was coming back from a hunt, and I passed him. He asked me if he needed to turn around. I said, "No, I got it. I mean, no sense in having two of us in the boat. I'm dragging a boat." So I went and got him, but he met us down at the landing, and we hung out for a while and chatted and talked and had a good time. And he actually, part of that video that you saw, if you saw the video, was you could tell it was taken from a cell phone. That was from RD. Kayak wouldn't pull him back. No, not in that current. It wouldn't have. But so he assisted. We all sat there and talked and giggled and laughed at each other. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Let's see here. What else, guys? Come on. Hunter, what's going on, buddy? Glad you could make it. Do. Give me something to talk about, guys. What's whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's waterfowl related. It don't matter. We've talked about let's see here. We've talked about the weather, lack of ducks pretty much everywhere. We've talked about the WMAs here, the category ones here in South Carolina. We talked about how to get in touch with the people, the politicians. I see here. We talked about Mid Valley Mercenaries podcast they did with Mueller choke tubes and shot sizes, and that smaller shot with a larger payload and lower velocities kill more ducks. We've talked about quite a bit in an hour and 15 minutes. Everyone see the birds they thought were going to be here with the cold weather? Yeah, everybody saw all three of them. I saw less birds when we had the cold snap here last weekend than I did before. Anything else? Same, yeah. It was pretty sad. I was really expecting we had a spot that we had found before the high water got here, and we thought it was going to be a lot better, and the water dropped out a little bit. We finally was able to get in there and wait it, and we probably saw 20, 30. That was it. Yeah, I was still a little optimistic. I didn't get a chance to go hunt the day before. I just um, I woke up and just rolled back over that Friday and ended up hunting Saturday, and which I shouldn't have because I got this cold and it just aggravated it more. But it is what it is. Excuse me. Just one of those things, man. About to break out the crow calls and coyote calls. I'll tell you one thing. We heard a pack of them Saturday. Man, there must have been 30 of them up on the hill. And they were cutting loose. It was pretty loud. I'm about ready to break out the cooking stuff and start cooking some of these ducks that I've got for some videos. Yep, at least we know this. Yeah, they got a good population of coyotes. I'm more worried about the rain. Charles, have you seen the forecast? It's supposed to, I don't know where, it's like 50% chance of rain Friday, Saturday, Sunday, unless it's changed. That's what the long forecast I saw the other day. And, but yeah, I'm worried about the rain and the fog. I think we were 50% Friday and 40 Saturday. Yeah. But I have to say this. I had better hunts this year, warmer weather on the good hunts that I had, where we had warm weather, rain, or fog. I had better hunts this year than I've had in a long time. So I don't know. Weirdness. The whole place has gone absolutely insane. I've just never cared too much for it myself, Hunter. Um, I don't mind a drizzling rain, but when it starts to pour down, I don't care for it. But I had better hunts. I had a lot better hunts. Well, here's the thing with me. Before I started videoing, I didn't care. Rain, snow, sleet, it didn't matter. We went, and I quickly found out, and some of y'all may still be in here. Some I know one of the guys was. I just don't get really good video on that early light because of GoPros just don't pick up a lot of light, and you can't hardly film in the rain. It's just you can't film, and I honestly just don't want to ruin a couple $1,000s worth of cameras because of trying to get footage in the rain. I don't with my GoPros. Yes, they are waterproof, but I don't use the batteries that come in them because they don't last that long. So you have to take a whole satchel of batteries with you, and you have to change them out every so often. And I have GoPros that are set up all over the place, so I have to take not the back off, but the side piece off, plug it into an external battery, which is attached to the mount that I use, and therefore it renders it not waterproof. So I don't want to ruin that equipment in the rain. It's what happened to me with the Georgetown hunt. I got a little bit of video during sporadic times, but I couldn't. I really couldn't video the hunt like I wanted it because of the rain. And when you have fog early morning, you don't get really good video to begin with. Lenses fog up. You just can't see. The whole plethora of problems. And the whole thing is to capture video for you guys to watch and enjoy. So, but again, that just brings the realism of my channel of a realistic hunt. But I am working on that as we speak. I got some ideas that I'm going to try out. Some more stuff that I'm going to purchase, to help with these rainy day situations. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's not like the Midwest where sunny, light wind days are money. We need the crappiest weather to kill anything. Yeah. Yeah, I will. I can tell you one of my better hunts, not recently, of course, but one of my better hunts was a 5-man limit of wood ducks and teal. And it was raining that day. That was a mess. We shot wood ducks, we shot blue wing and green wing teal. Of course, that was all before I started videoing. Well, we'll be heading out again Friday and Saturday this week. Try to see if we can do something. And then I got those 2 days in February that I can hunt for the veterans hunts. Yeah, I think it's getting late. People are starting to slow down. Charles is probably asleep. He's probably was listening and leaned back and closed his eyes in his chair and passed out. I would think if Ron is still here, he's probably turning out a duck call or two. Let's see who else. Grant. I don't know where Grant went. He didn't say he was pulling out, but he may have. Mark J. He probably is just listening, probably working on a 10 or cleaning some animal that he killed. Jeff just saying, hell, I just got back. Going to get on that. You go, yeah, I told you, Charles. He fell asleep. He just woke up. You heard me talking. He's not asleep but nodding. Let's see here. I pretty much can tell what time it is, but what everybody's doing. Been doing this too long, I guess. Oh my Lord and goodness. Well, I had one young man, I forgot his name, or his handle on here. Very long, and let's see if I can't. I don't know where if he's still here or Zbaz 64 West. I don't know if he's still here or not. Take care, Charles. You have a good evening. So, yeah, the people are dropping. They always do about this time. And then what happens is about 5 minutes before I decide to quit, the room fills back up. Had company stop by. Cool beans. Well, that's fine. I'm feeling a little bit better. I still got it. I kind of, I was feeling really. I shouldn't have went hunting Saturday, but I did anyway, and it kind of hit me again yesterday. And then my son calls, and they're broke down in the swamp, and so I had to go get him. So aggravated it a little bit more. So I was real sluggish today at work. Yeah, I'm on my second week of this mess. That's why I haven't gone anywhere as far as but local hunts, because I don't want to give anybody anything. But I can tell you that last Monday, buddy, I was in a hurt locker. I pushed it out for an hour and I just couldn't handle it. I felt bad, but I was hurting. Saturday was a rough day on the big water, riding some good waves. Oh yeah, yeah. We stuck to the swamp Saturday to get out of the wind. The water is still pushing through there hard. I didn't check. Let's do a quick check here. Where we at? Nope, that's the wrong button. There we go. The Santee River is at 80.4 right now, so it is going down. Flood stage is 80. So probably by this weekend, swamp will be back down to a normal, a very good normal hunting. Only killed 2 geese rough hunting. Lake Marion, Lake Moultrie, they're also down as well. So, yeah, we ought to see some. Should be back down to a fairly decent normal hunting level, water levels. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I got a spot. If the water will come down just a little bit, if the water will come down just a little bit more, I've got a spot that will be perfect for wading. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Oh man, Jeff, I'm sorry. Well, I hope she's feeling better. Please send our prayers. We're praying for her, Jeff. Let her know that we're praying. Yeah, Hunter, I was I mean there was one time, well, not last Saturday, but Saturday prior, uh, we were going through the swamp and the water was going through there so fast, so hard, and so fast that it was pushing my boat all over. I hit every tree in the swamp. I hit every last one of them. There ain't a tree in that swamp right now that doesn't have my name on it because I hit every last one of them. Well, we're gonna be doing some riding Saturday. I know that Friday I may do something Friday. I'm either going to do some riding or I'm going to some other landings after the hunt Friday and try to figure something out either for Saturday or for the 2 days in February. Um, I got a couple of spots I haven't been to this year because of the well, number one, I was hunting North Carolina a lot, and then when that kind of wasn't working, we came back, and then I just haven't been there, so I need to go out and check it out. Yeah, but let her know we're thinking about her, and we'll be praying for you, Jeff. And be honest, thank God it was just angina, and you could control it with meds, so good deal. Jeff, you're going to get a 16 this year, man. RD was in there earlier saying that Browning just dropped their A520 in wood and steel, so it shouldn't be too long. They're going to have a camo edition, or at least a Wicked Wings edition. soon. I know you like your 20 gauges. I'll tell you what, if my YouTube would ever kick off and I could start making some money on this thing, I tell you what I would love to do, and that is just hook the boat up, throw every decoy I got in the back of it, and come see every one of y'all, and just go hunt with y'all 2 or 3 days. Every last one of you, every one of y'all that come into this chat on Monday nights, I would love to do nothing but just throw the gear in, put Bougie in the seat beside me, crank up some tunes, and head to y'all and hunt 2 or 3 days and then go to the next person. Hunt 2 or 3 days and go to the next person. That's what I'd love to do. Now, you like your over and unders? I got you. Hard to find a 16 in an over and under. They're out there. They're just usually older guns. I got one over and under, the little 410. It just feels, it fits funny. It just fits a little weird for me. I got a side by side. I like my 12. I got a 12. I got a Browning side by side, and I love it. Haven't shot it in a long time. I need to break it out one of these days and go out and shoot something with it. But I do. I wish. Yeah, I know. I know hunters. Sometimes that 300 or 400 is can even there are times when that's a lot of money. I just wish the YouTube channel would kick off more. Oh my goodness. And hopefully, let's see. Let's talk about Bougie for a few minutes while we're talking about Nebraska. Don't we all? Yeah, Mark. Really. I was going to take her this next week to a trainer. Couple things. There's no ducks, so that's one of the things right now. And number two, she just went into heat, and I am not taking her to her trainer when she's going into heat. That's just not going to happen. That's just bad juju. So I'm gonna wait. We're gonna have to wait, and then I'll probably go and take her to the vet, get that problem solved, and then after that, we'll start working. I think I'm gonna go buy some quail and put down on the ground. I got a friend of mine that owns a little bit of property, and I think he's got a raised coop. If not, I think I'm going to go buy a raised coop and put them in there and then take them out. And how do you think I train my dogs, Hunter? Seriously, I can tell you now I follow Richard Walters, I follow Atkins, and I follow Freddie King. And those, at first, when I first started training my dogs, it was all Richard Walters, everything that he did. And then when Atkins came along, I started incorporating some of that into what Richard Walters was doing. And then I saw Freddie King, and I started transitioning some of his stuff into. So I've got a combination of all three of them. I'm saying make that though, help your channel. Yeah, I've got a few short videos. But we're going to start some stuff pretty soon. Some new things for her. And I'll be showing that as well in the upcoming videos. We are going to be doing some of that, but I'm going to get some quail and start working her on training her to be a bird dog as well, and then going back and forth between waterfowl and hunting quail. We don't have any wild birds here anymore, hardly any more wild birds anymore, but there's plenty of preserves. And you can take her out to one of those or buy some quail myself and put them out and let them go. Get her to pointing and holding and whatnot. But I'm not a professional dog trainer. I do it because I love training my own dogs. And I don't want anybody thinking I am a professional, because I am not. I don't claim to be. I probably let my dogs get away with more than others do, because I like a hunting buddy, so they kind of get away with a little bit more. But I can tell you, she's coming along. I just need more birds. That is her problem, 100%, and it's not her fault. It's mine, because we just don't have the birds. But I can tell you now. I mean, at 6 months, she picked up 23 doves, and one day in a swamp, she picked up 5 wood ducks like it was nothing. She's made 75 to 100-yard retrieve on a mallard duck over a open mud flat. So she's got the drive. She knows. I mean, she does her thing. It's just birds. She needs birds. She needs birds shot over. Yep. I think I've left her home twice on 2 hunts that I didn't take her home on 2 hunts. One was a swan hunt, and it was a guided hunt. That was a guided hunt, and I'm not taking a dog on a guided hunt unless I, unless me and the guide have an agreement. And she's a pup. I mean, right now she's only 11 months old, so she was a pup. And what is she gonna do with a swan? Nothing. There's nothing she can do with it except run up to it and bark at it. And the other one was a Georgetown hunt where I was invited. And for example, if I invite somebody to hunt with me, unless I say your dog is invited as well, your dog's not invited, and neither is anybody else. You're invited. So there's an issue. I was invited, and they never mentioned anything about the dog. They know I have a dog, but they didn't mention anything. So she got left home on that one. Now, had they say, hey, you got a dog you want to bring? Oh, I'd have brought her. And I think she'd have done real well on that hunt. But because the whole story, and I mean it holds true. Everybody's got the best dog, right? Everybody's got the best dog. Everybody's got the best dog. I'm saying that I have a good dog, and she is coming along great. She needs more birds. She needs more training, but she's not the best. And she's not the best. And that comes from a lot of experience of being on hunts where other people have brought their dogs when they shouldn't have, and that dog ended up making everybody miserable during the whole hunt, running up and down the boats, doing all kind of crazy stuff. The guys I hunt with, other than Craig has dogs, but he also understands that I'm training a dog. So he understands that, and he agrees me with that. That's why I bring her when I go hunt with him. But he's got some well-trained dogs. Everybody else I hunt with don't have dogs. And they all know that I'm training a dog. I'm trying to get her used to stuff. That's why she goes with me just about, if I leave the house, she's going with me, whether it's a truck ride to the store or to a boat ride somewhere. She's going to be in that boat with me. She ain't leaving her. Got to get her used to everything. Okie doke. Well, who all we got left in here? Who all is left? I'm showing 7 people. Who all is left? Come on, chat room. Talk. Say something. But I agree with you, Hunter. I do need to do more videos on her. In the beginning, we did quite a few. It was shorts, little short stuff. Mark's still here. Hunter's still here. We did a lot of short videos with her. Again, it is real hard to film and train at the same time. I've tried it. It is tough. But I've got an idea on something again. Some new stuff that we're going to be working on. And I've got some new things, new products that I'll be putting, videos out together. Hopefully in the next few months. And by utilizing these things, I can not only utilize them for duck hunting, but help me with her training as well. So we'll see. There's a lot of things going on. So Black Betty is a good dog, but far from great. That being said, she has only lost 7 birds in 6 years. Awesome. Yeah, Bougie just needs birds. That's her thing. That's why I'm going to start her with I'm really thinking about getting a quail pen, or not a quail pen, but a raised chicken coop, and getting some quail, and just put them in the backyard. And then taking them out and putting them on the ground, and then eventually shoot 1 or 2 here and there, and let her retrieve them. I know for a fact come next September, she is going to get more doves because we've got a place pretty much locked down for a dove hunt every year. And every time I've gone to this particular spot, we have shot limits of doves. I mean, literally have just shot limits. And so she'll get a lot of birds during that time frame. But she just needs birds. That's all. That's all she needs. She needs to smell them. And I'm gonna have to start. I already realized. I talked about this a while back last summer that I was going to start force fetching her, and while she started progressing, she would jump up on the stand, jump in the back of my truck, wherever I had her, and she would hang on to that training dummy. She wouldn't let it go until I took it from her. Until I said give and took it from her. But I had shot some ducks, and I had a teal. Came home, had a teal, and I just put it on the ground, and she mouthed it and played with it and didn't want to keep it. It was something. It just, I don't know what was going on. So I don't know if it was because it was dead for so long or what. But she's retrieved other ducks and doves and never did that. So I don't know if it was because it'd been dead for a while and she just didn't want anything to do with it. I don't know. So I may have to start force fetching. Wayne Castleman, late party. I've been busy today checking. Hey Wayne, how you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, we've been talking about the new Browning A5 today already tonight. From what I understand, I have not seen I have not seen the advertisement yet, but from what I understand, it's a wooden steel gun. Is there any talk? Have you heard of any talk about them going to a composite or even a Wicked Wings edition on that A5 on the 20 gauge? I have a 16 in the Wicked Wings, and I absolutely love it. And of course, I have the Belgium 16 as well, but and I got a silver and a side by side and that kind of stuff. Do I turkey hunt? Yes, I do. Love turkeys are my second favorite passion. If something was to ever happen to me where I could not duck hunt anymore, it would be turkeys. I would go after turkeys. I've shot a few of them. I don't want to shoot jakes, and I passed on some really good birds last year that I could have shot. They just weren't big enough. I didn't want to do it. But yeah, I like the turkey hunt. Yes, I've done one where I did where I shot a bird. I've done that one, and then I did a bearded hen. I almost shot her. All I saw was the beard, and it turned out to be a bearded hen, and it had a pretty good beard on her, by the way. But like I said, it ended up being a hen, and so I let it walk. But I have one turkey hunt, and it's not a fast and furious spectacular. They came running in. I mean, this bird took its time, and what was really really weird is this bird never gobbled. I could not get him to gobble. He did puff up. I could hear him spitting and drumming, but he would not gobble. Then he just got too close. Dove is my second love. I love shooting doves too, Jeff. I really do. Yeah, that's I like doing the dove shoots. Yep, coyotes, and on the property, most definitely. That and a combination of dogs. I wouldn't say wild dogs, but I would say dogs that are running wild. I've had several times on that property where I've had dogs run through the area I was hunting. So, and their neighbors, the neighboring farmers or neighboring families' dogs. I did not hear of composite as yet, but I think the 20 will be the new sweet 20. It's where I'm going to find my piece. I got you. Be nice if the dove fields were managed till the end of the season on WMAs. I am right there with you, buddy. I am. You get that first season, and after that, nope. You may get a little bit of the second season, then it's done. They just quit. They quit doing anything. Yeah, it goes downhill because they quit managing it. It's crazy. It's absolute. What I'm saying, DNR, SC DNR is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. But yeah, Hunter, go and look for that. If you go to my channel, I have everything broken down into playlist. So just go under playlist and look for turkey hunts. That's a real problem in South Carolina, not just Cat 1 stuff, but the public for everything. And I'm 100% in agreement with you. And we are going to really address some problems in upcoming later. But right now, the fight I'm fighting is for the Category 1 WMAs because duck hunting is my passion. So that's what I'm fighting now. So that's what I'm looking at right now. But you're 100% correct. And if you go to some of the public forums, on the dove hunting stuff, there was an outcry this year. People were just complaining over and over and over that the fields weren't done right. There's hardly any doves. They're just, in dove hunting, here in our state, there were, back when I was a kid and growing up, there were three things that we look forward to every year. Every year there were three things: opening day of dove season, opening day of duck season, and which generally came in around the same time as opening day of quail season. And when the duck season and the quail season opened, pretty much everything was in season. And you could literally go out and shoot a limit of ducks, a limit of doves, and probably get you if not a limit, pretty much get close to a limit of quail. And of course you got your rabbits and squirrels that you could have shot. So that Thanksgiving week, when everything was in season, was just a heaven for a kid, and that was an outdoorsman. Everything was open. You could shoot and you could hunt and you could bring home a lot of stuff. And it's like nowadays, and these were a lot of state run, state managed WMAs and places where we hunted, and it's just not that way anymore. Just not that way. All right, guys. Well, I have been on here for 2 hours, and that is generally my limit. I do got to get up early in the morning and go to work. I don't really want to. I'd rather be in the woods somewhere hunting, but it's just not going to happen. Anyway, for those of y'all that are still here, thank you so much for coming in. And I, again, apologize. Ever since Christmas, had the Christmas holidays, and we had New Year's Day holiday, and then I was out hunting, and then I got sick, and then I just haven't been on here enough and a lot. But I want to thank each and every one of y'all coming in, talking with me, chatting with me, having a great time. That's why we call this In the Blind, because that's what we just talk about stuff, just like you would if you were in a duck blind. And that's why it's called In the Blind. We got a lot of stuff that's coming up. When's the next live? Will be next Monday night, dude. Next Monday night, 8:00. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Come on in. Let's have a chat. Let's talk. Let's have some fun. And then I may do one maybe toward the end of the week of the after the 31st. Maybe maybe the 1st or 2nd. Maybe I'll see. I'll see how everything's going on. Just to check to see how everybody's season ended. But again, guys, thank y'all so much for coming in. Let your friends know. I'm just a real duck hunter, having real issues, giving you real hunts. Sometimes there's nothing. Sometimes there's some. Sometimes there's a few. Sometimes there's a limit. You just never know. It's just real duck hunting. So, anyway, guys, have a great night. Have a good week. Rest of your week, and we'll see y'all next time on Daddy Duck 365. Good night, y'all.